Okay, here are the answers to quiz number 2. First of all, going through the fill in the blanks. Let's start by getting those answers. An electrostatic method of writing called xerography is also called dry writing. Blank is a device that stores charge. Now I accepted 2 answers here. Capacitor, which is actually the more general term, and one of the first capacitors was called a Leyden jar. The device invented by Ben Franklin called the lightning rod protects buildings from electrical charge. Blank can produce in excess of 5,000 volts. A Van der Graaf generator. If you got Van der Graaf in there, I gave you credit. Blank is a producer of static electricity. That's called an electrostatic generator. William Gilbert invented the electroscope, and I was impressed because at least one of you drew a pretty nice picture of an electroscope. An electroscope works this way. You have 2 metal leaves here, and if a charged material comes in, and let's just say that this is negatively charged, it causes or attracts, let's say it repels the negative charges and it causes positive charges to aggregate here. And since the positive charges are aggregating here, that means the negative charges are here. And because they're in both leaves, the leaves repel. And that tells you that this is charged. And that's called an electroscope. The flow of electric charge, well, static electricity is electricity that doesn't flow. But electrical charge that does flow is called current. And we'll be talking about that some more in the future. Producing electric charge without touching is called induction. Producing electrical current or electrical charge with touching is called conduction. Blank has the same strength of force throughout. This would be an electric field or a uniform field. The word field really needs to be in the answer. And then so that's the fill in the blanks. So let's take a look at this problem. Suppose that 2 balls are separated by 5.230 times 10 to the minus 10 meters. Okay, so that's D. And that the charge, a charge of positive 3.20 times 10 to the minus 19. So both Q1 and Q2 are both 3.20 times 10 to the minus 19 coulombs. What is the magnitude of electrostatic force felt by these spheres? Well, the force is equal to a constant K times Q1 times Q2 divided by D squared. And a lot of you got this right, but then made mistakes like not squaring D. So the force is going to be equal to the constant, which I gave you here, 8.99 times 10 to the 9th, times Q1, 3.20 times 10 to the minus 19. It's times Q1 and Q2, and they're both the same, so we can say squared here, divided by 5.230 times 10 to the minus 10, and don't forget to square that as well. That's the most common mistake, was forgetting to square. And if you do the math here, you're going to get something like 3 times 10 to the minus 9 newtons. Okay, so there's the answers to the problem to the quiz 2. I will tell you in this video there will not be a video going over the homework answers for chapter 3, and the reason for that is the homework in chapter 3 doesn't have any problems. It is just going over the basic concepts of magnetism. So you can go through the answers in the book and find those answers in the book, and for me to just say them again is really not useful. So we will not have a video for week 3 going over what, in addition to what, going over the homework for week 3. But we will when we get back into electricity in week 4.